Well, hello YouTube. Are you having trouble with your sound card not working after you update Windows? Well, I've had this problem and I've been looking for a solution for several hours now and have finally come across a solution that is at least working up until the point that I update Windows with the update that is causing the issue. What we're going to do is we're going to actually disable Windows 10 individual updates and then install each update that is available one at a time until we install the update that is causing the sound card to be disconnected. First of all, I would suggest reinstalling a fresh version of Windows. That alone allowed my sound card to work again and function normally. So, install a fresh version of Windows. Then, the very first thing I would like you to do, make sure you are not connected to the internet. So make sure you don't connect to any Wi-Fi network. And then type in update in the taskbar down below. Click on check for updates. Then click on pause updates for 7 days. This will ensure that once you do connect to the internet, which I would like you to do now, after having paused the updates, will ensure that the updates don't automatically install. So go ahead and do that. Connect to the internet and then open up a browser. And I want you to search for a program which is called WUSHOWHIDE. So if you type in Google, go to Google, we'll go here. Okay, type in WUSHOWHIDE. The first option that should appear will be how to temporarily prevent a driver update from reinstalling. Click on that link there. You'll be brought to a Microsoft page. I want you to scroll down until you get to choose your automatic updates and then download the troubleshooter. Save that file, okay? Here's the file here. Double click on it. Now click next. What it's basically doing is it's going to search for all the available updates that can be installed and then give you two options: hide updates and show hidden updates. Now, I've actually already gone ahead and hidden all the updates available. So when I click on hide updates, it says there are no updates available to hide. But when you do it, you should be presented with a list of updates and checkboxes which you can tick. And I would like to ask you to actually select all the checkboxes you see and press next, and that will actually then go ahead and hide them. Once they've all been hidden, I want you to close the troubleshooter. Okay, then reopen the troubleshooter. This time you're going to actually select the option to show hidden updates. Click on that. And here is a list of all the updates available that are hidden to Windows Update. And in fact, when you go back down to the taskbar and type in update, and click on check for updates. Since you've hidden all the updates, you really shouldn't see anything on here when you press resume updates, as you can see here. In fact, when I did this, the only update I saw was a cumulative update for Windows, which I selected and downloaded and installed, and it did not cause any issues with my sound card, thankfully. It might also help you at this stage to create a restore point on your computer so that you can restore your computer back to this setting where everything is working. Go ahead into the taskbar and type restore. Create a restore point. I want you to click on your main C drive and press configure, because by default protection is off. I want you to turn on system protection. Max usage, put it to about 25% or so, and then press apply and OK. Now protection will be on. You can go ahead and create a restore point. I created a restore point called fresh install, everything's working. So go ahead and create a restore point with whatever name you feel appropriate. And when Windows updates and causes sound issues, you can always restore. So that's a restore. Back to our WUSHOWHIDE app, under show hidden updates, I want you to go ahead and select only one option and click next. Now, since I've been having issues with my sound card, which is a Realtek sound card, I'm going to actually choose to bypass anything that mentions anything about sound and only update things that I feel have nothing to do with the sound card. And hopefully, upon installing each of those updates individually, one at a time, my sound drivers still work. And the only thing I'll be left with after going through all of these that have nothing to do with sound, the only things that are left should be my sound card drivers. I'll then go ahead, create a restore point again up until that point. And then I'm going to select the Realtek drivers, unhide them and update them. So as an example here, I'm just going to click on this Intel system and click next. This will now unhide that update. I go into my taskbar, I type update, check for updates, and click on check for updates. This should now only show the one, and it did it very quickly in that case, the one update I selected to show, and that is done. The next time I go back into my WUSHOWHIDE and under the hidden updates, this one will no longer be available. So do this for each update you can see on here, one at a time. Repeat that same process until you have nothing left other than the updates that have to do with your sound card, which in my case is Realtek. I'm going to go ahead and do all of these and report back to you once I am only left with my Realtek audio drivers, and hopefully after I install those, either two things will happen. One, my sound will still work, or two, my sound will no longer work. And then if that's the case, I'm going to keep these sound drivers hidden at all times so that when I update Windows, these never get updated and my sound stays on. Let's get into that. Okay, so I just installed one of the last few drivers and my sound card has disconnected. So clearly the last driver that I updated is causing an issue. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to restore my system back to its previous point. Go ahead and type down in the taskbar restore, and then click on restore your file, click on recovery, and then open system restore in the middle. Click next. I'm going to then select my latest update or restore position that I chose that was still working. I typed in still working, and I'm going to click on next and finish. And yes. Now, I'll be very disappointed if this restore does not re-establish my audio. If that's the case, I may have a bigger issue. But fingers crossed. The interesting thing to note was the last driver that I installed, which caused the issue, had nothing clearly evident pointing towards it doing with my sound card. So I'm really hoping that after my system restores, my sound will be back. Well, this is taking a little bit longer than I was expecting. While it's doing this, I'm going to pause the video and come back once Windows has restarted. Okay, welcome back, guys and girls. Well, success. After my Windows restore point, my sound has returned. So now that my sound is back, let's go back into WUSHOWHIDE and have a look at what updates are hidden, and basically go back and reinstall the updates until you find the one that is causing the issue. Okay, so here we are. We have 4 remaining. Interestingly, when I installed the last update, I think it was something that said Intel that caused the problem. But since doing the restore, the Intel driver is gone, but my sound is back. So that's a bit strange. What I might do is just type in update again and just see if anything has changed or if there's anything that's available to update. Ooh, this we don't want. Okay. I just noticed it started to basically say there was a whole heap of updates available after this restore. So I've gone ahead and paused it very quickly. Probably what I should have done was had a look in WUSHOWHIDE to see if there was any updates available to hide in the first place. Okay, so go into hide updates again, and yes, here we go. There's a whole bunch of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on all of these and hide them. This is a long process, guys and girls, but after the several hours it's taken me just to even find out this point where I can actually select individual updates, I think it's going to be worth it at the end if it fixes my sound issues. Okay, that's done. They should all be hidden now. If I go back into update, okay, there we go. So you're all up to date. That means they're all hidden, which is what we want. And my sound still works. So now back into the tedious task of unhiding individually, one at a time, Windows updates. Okay. It was definitely one of these Intel drivers. I can't remember which one now. I probably should have noted which one caused it so I know to avoid that one next time. But once again, I'm going to go ahead and select each one individually, avoiding my sound card updates. Well, I'm still installing some of these updates as I did before. What I'm going to go and do is I'm going to install a couple of these updates and then create a new restore point so that if I lose my sound card again, I can easily restore it to a more up-to-date version of my Windows, so I don't have to keep going back through WUSHOWHIDE and doing the whole process again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, pause the video, and report back when I only have a few updates left. Okay guys and girls, welcome back to my video on how to fix your audio issues with Windows 10 after installing updates. Hopefully you've been following through and doing what I've been doing, and hopefully your sound card is still functioning. So I've created a few restore points along the way as I get closer to eliminating all of my updates. I've only got a few left, so I'm going to film this and actually show you the process up until the last few updates. In fact, what I'll do is I'll make sure I go back into WUSHOWHIDE and see if there's any updates available to hide still, which in this case, thankfully, there are none. And then go back in to unhide updates. Remember each step along the way just to pause updates just in case something comes up that shouldn't be there. Now, last time when I did face the issue of my sound card driver or sound card turning off, it was because of one of these actual Intel Corporation drivers, not my Realtek, which I assumed would be the issue. So what I'm going to do this time round is actually unhide one of the Realtek options and then go ahead and see if that causes an issue. So it's unhidden, resume updates. Okay, it's downloading one of the Realtek Semiconductor Corp updates. It's installing, you're up to date, and voila, my sound card still works. So good news so far. Let's close off WUSHOWHIDE and reopen it again. And let's install the next Realtek Semiconductor Corp media. We're going to unhide this so that Windows can find it in the update search. It's downloading. I've got my fingers crossed at this stage. Okay, it says here that a restart is required. Let's go ahead and restart. Once again, fingers crossed that my sound still works after the restart. I'm very nervous because this has taken quite a lot of my time to find a solution to try and fix this issue. Okay, sound is still working. I'm going to go into Windows Update again. Check for updates. If anything shows up here, I'm going to quickly press pause. There should not be anything that comes up here. Okay, that's good. Good news so far. Back into WUSHOWHIDE. You know what? I'm going to create a restore point even now, just so I've got a further level of protection. Still working. I think I'm up to 4 now. Create. Okay. We're just left with these two. Which one do I install first? That's the question. Well, this one was updated prior to this one, so I'm going to go ahead and select that first one, titled Intel Corporation System. Interesting to note that this Intel down here doesn't have the trademark R next to it. Could that be the one that is causing the issue? Let's find out. Fingers are crossed, guys and girls. It's downloading. We still have sound, it's installing. And look, my sound disconnects. So, Intel Trademark R Corporation System has clearly caused an issue with my sound card. I'm going to go ahead and restore now. This is why we create the restore points. Okay, restore. This should bring back my operating system to normal with sound working. I'm going to let it do its thing, pause the video, and come back once Windows has restarted. Okay, my sound has been restored. I'm just going to shut my window. There's a little bit of noise coming through. There we go. My sound has been restored, and once again, I'm only up to 2 remaining updates. So what I thought originally was it would be the Realtek drivers that would cause the issue, but it's actually not. Interestingly enough, I've gone back into WUSHOWHIDE to show hidden updates. It's only now showing the Intel Corporation extension remaining, which is a bit of a concern because of the fact that when the issue happened, it was because of the other Intel Corporation install, and I had created a restore before that point. So I don't know why that's not coming up. I might cancel this Go back into Windows Updates. Press check for updates and see if anything pops up, and if it does, I'll press pause. Okay, there it was. It did come up, the Intel Corporation R. So I've pressed pause, go back into WUSHOWHIDE. This time I'm going to select the hide updates function, and there's the one there. So I want to make sure that I hide that so that it doesn't automatically pop up when I restart Windows. That's fixed. If I go now to resume updates, it should not show up. There we go. Back into WUSHOWHIDE, selecting on show hidden updates. We'll then be able to see 2 in there. And once again, this Intel Trademark R Corporation update caused the issue. Let's go ahead now and select the other one, the extension, and see what happens. I'm kind of expecting it to cause the sound card again to switch off. And with that, the only solution may be to just keep those hidden and make sure that they never update. It's downloading, it's installing. The screen's gone blank for a little bit. Still have sound. There you go, it's updated. I'm gonna restart. Okay, some weird stuff seems to be happening. There we go, I'm gonna check back into here. Check for updates. Okay, there we go. And you know what, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna create another restore point just here, because I know that the one remaining file to update is causing the issues. Just call it working 5. Create the restore point. Close that off. Go back into WUSHOWHIDE. Now previously I selected to update that Intel Trademark R update because it appeared to be somewhat older than that extension update, and I figured that perhaps that one needs to be installed first. So now that I did it the other way around, it's still working, and the only one left is this one. I'm going to go ahead and show that update again, just in case this one needs to be installed last for everything to work fine. Here we go. Fingers crossed. It's installing. Come on. There we go. It's gone off again. So I found the culprit. I believe I have found the culprit. That's the best news so far. I'm going to go ahead and recover Windows once again, hopefully for the last time. Working 5. Okay, I'm going to let that do that. It's going to restart. I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready to go to work. I'll come back, and at this point, I might just leave it there. I do have to get ready to go to work, but when I get home from work tonight, I'm going to start to explore that Intel Trademark R update and to see if there's anything on Google mentioning that being the cause for any issues, and if there's any fix for that one specific update. Thanks for tuning in so far. I hope this video has been helpful. I look forward to getting back to you tonight for further updates. Okay guys and girls, well, It's 7:48 p.m. I've returned from work and I'm straight back into my laptop to try and really figure out what is causing the issue with my sound basically disappearing and not recognizing a sound card after I install Windows updates. Up until this point, I've used WUSHOWHIDE to individually deselect or select each update to install to basically diagnose which one has been causing the problem, and I've identified exactly which one is causing the problem. It's an Intel driver. When I've restarted after returning from work, I looked into updates. It found an update, so I quickly, as I did before, paused it, and I've gone into my WUSHOWHIDE application, and I'm going to select the one that's appeared now, which is Security Intelligence Update for Windows Defender. I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Although, you know what, I'm not actually too concerned about this one. I don't think it's going to cause an issue. I'm going to go ahead and cancel. I'm just going to say resume updates. I really don't think this update is going to cause an issue with my sound card. The good thing is the Intel driver did not appear when I checked for updates. So my sound card's still working and that's done. If I go into WUSHOWHIDE, click on next, we should still see the Intel. Here we go, Intel R Corporation system. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna research this on Google. I'm gonna see what I can come up with, see if there's some sort of fix just for this one alone that I can actually fix. So I'm gonna do that. I'll report back to you with my findings. Okay, so just after searching no sound after installing Intel R Corporation System 2/22/2019, I found the first response here mentioning that exact same driver, even the version of that driver, 10.23.02.427. So 10.23.02.427, so the same exact driver. So I'm gonna click in here, see what it says. Well, guys and girls, it's a new day. Unfortunately, I got pretty tired last night and didn't spend too much time looking around for a solution for my speaker issues. And this morning I haven't been able to find anything either. It seems though there are a few people who have had issues with that same driver. For now, I'm just going to keep this hidden. That's the best thing I can do. It's keeping my speakers working. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to use my laptop and enjoy it. It's running fast. I can do my video editing and the speakers work. That's all I need for it to do. So if you guys can think of any solution that might be able to fix this, I'd love to hear from you. You know, write in if you've experienced the same problem and how you fixed it. Perhaps you've got a different way of doing it. Let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy your day.